everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in, for joining me. This is another podcast series, and where I will be looking at this week's energies. Today is Monday, the 1st of June. That's going to make it easy. A new beginning of the week, a new month. It's all happening. We're almost mid-year. So that's a big deal right here, right now. So what we're looking at, we just had a big full moon yesterday. You've probably been feeling it, maybe not sleeping all that well, maybe stuff coming up with every full moon when the sun and the moon are in opposition. It's always a time where emotions are heightened, where things are stirring more. There is more of the tides are more obvious inside of us, outside of us. So there's a big peak and culmination point every full moon. It was a full moon in Sagittarius, where still the moon is still in Sag, which is quite enthusiastic, positive, faithful. There's a great joy of life. It moves us around. It takes us on a pilgrimage. So it's a beautiful position for the moon to feel more excited about life itself. And yeah, but having been a full moon, things might have come up to our consciousness and more emotional. And yeah, so we might have been feeling that a fair bit. Also, the full moon was in square to the nodes. So it's quite also, there could have been things coming up that around discerning what's right for me, what isn't, finding the balance between the sacred and the mundane, and yeah, and moving forward with that. So today, Monday, the 1st of June, we got the sun in Gemini at 10 degrees. Uranus at 2 degrees now of Gemini. So also for the sun, only a week ago, the sun met Uranus for the first time in our lifetime, for most of us, unless we are 85 plus or 84 years of age and older. So this is a very new energy. There is a new sense of enthusiasm, opportunities, new possibilities, maybe new social context. Gemini is very social, very community oriented. We're moving around. It's about communication, movement, dealing and wheeling, being out there in the world. And maybe we've been feeling a lot more joy of life, a lot more movement than we have been. So the sun will still be in the sign of Gemini for the next about 3 weeks. So happy birthday, all you twins out there. And also today we got Mercury at the last degree of Gemini. Gemini rules the nervous system. With Mercury here today, we may have been feeling, and I certainly have been feeling it, a bit more scattered, running around, this and that to do, because Mercury rules Gemini, is very swift and fleet-footed. We are really moving around very quickly. Also, Mercury, Gemini rule the mind. So our mind could be very active, trying to find solutions for certain things. And so we could be a lot more in our head, a lot more scattered, our nervous system heightened. So it's really important with so much Gemini energy, particularly as Uranus is now in Gemini permanently until 2033. It's certainly we need to look after our nervous system more, connect with nature, our inner nature, outer nature, find that sense of grounding. And particularly, we're lacking a little bit of Earth at the moment. We only have Mars moving through Taurus and Earth, also where Mars is the furthest away. So as we are looking at Mars here, Mars is how we asserting our will. Mars in Taurus is a slow down energy. It's more resourceful, enjoys the pleasures of life, more of the sensual things. We are connecting more, asserting ourselves through the Venusian realms of embodiment. And so all of that it's helping us to slow down here a bit, which is lovely. And Mars will still be in Taurus till the end of the month. And end of the month, end of June, it's going to be a big month. June is a big month and opening a big space for the months to come. We will see Mars moving into Gemini. We will see also Venus is then moving into Leo, but that's going to happen before that. So there's a lot of change at the end of the month. We're also going to have Chiron for the first time moving into the sign of Taurus, the sign where Chiron was discovered. And I just recently did a podcast with beautiful astrologer Gray Crawford in my new podcast series, Illumine the Liminal, bringing light to the threshold, talking about, I have guest speakers that bring enthusiasm, that shine the light, empowering, and yeah, talking about ways of moving forward, navigating through times of greatest threshold. And so yeah, so this Chiron, the wounded healer, for the first time is having this 50-year cycle, which is Chiron cycle. So for most of us, all of us, when we're at age 49, 50, 51, it depends on our own setup. We are moving through our only Chiron return, unless we live beyond 100 years. We're gonna have another one. And Chiron is that wound, the wound that needs to be felt, we need to feel it to heal it. Something is being brought to consciousness. And as we can see today, we have a couple of 29 last degree points with Mercury at the last degree point. We have Chiron at the last degree point, and Chiron will be at the last degree point of Aries until the end of June when Chiron moves into Taurus. And that's going to be a big energy shift. Since 2018, as Chiron has been moving through Aries, it's been bringing up themes around how we asserting ourselves, how we going for what we want, being in our own sovereignty, and who am I, asking the basic questions. Who am I? What am I here for? The wounding of separation, the wounding of rejection, abandonment, feeling a split between the sacred and the mundane, between our own nature and how we go for what we want, our I amness, our sense of self. Also Aries ruled by Mars, how we assert ourselves, how we connect with our own will, how we feel that zest of life that moves us forward. And for a lot of us, we've been moving through a lot of energy since 2018 in regard to our own sense of self, our vitality. Maybe some of us been having illnesses or accidents, any kind of injury that's been keeping us from moving in and tuning into what we love doing, keeping us, holding us back. So the wound can be physical at times, it can be an emotional wound from the past. And so as Chiron enters then, and I'll talk about that a lot more, end of June, Chiron moves into Taurus. We only get a 3-month taste of Chiron in Taurus, and then another 6 months as Chiron moves back into Aries before moving into Taurus next year, earlier next year, and then staying there till 2033 together with Uranus and Gemini, also till 2033. And also there is a slowdown of energy. It's an invitation of back to nature, back to our own nature, back to basics, and that sense of I am an embodiment of everything that is as a reflection. And also what we're seeing at this point in time, we got Venus in the sign of Cancer, and Venus is very graceful in Cancer. There's a gentleness, a softness as she's moving through the lunar ruled sign of Cancer. We might feel a bit more nostalgic. We might feel more connected to the past. There is something where, yeah, that's something that might come up, memories from the past, something we might still hold on to. Nothing wrong with that. And at the same time, also good to reflect and see, okay, is it something that I want to keep holding on? Or it's good to feel it, to feel any kind of grief, sadness, resentments from the past. So don't be surprised if this week still into next week that we feel a bit more vulnerable, more, yeah, it's a beautiful feminine softness here. And with Jupiter in the sign of Cancer and the exalted sign, there is a lot of emotional, also emotional healing, clarity around all these things. And also, at the end of the month, we're not just going to have Chiron move into Taurus, we're also going to have Jupiter changing signs into Leo, which is very exciting. Jupiter, well, is exalted in Cancer. I'm excited about that. But also Leo is an expansion of the heart. I'm going to talk a lot about that as well in my future podcasts when Jupiter comes close to moving into Leo. But Leo rules the heart, and Jupiter will help us to expand our heart space for about a year, which is a beautiful energy. Our inner child, our playfulness, creative self-expression. Beautiful, beautiful energy here. Also, South Node, North Node, we have some contacts here this week. The South Node and North Node are in square with Uranus. Uranus only recently moved into Gemini, bringing new opportunities, excitement, epiphanies. There is newness, there is change, there is abruptness, sudden twists and turns and changes. So a lot for us to be excited about, but also change is not always necessarily wanted and chosen. So that can be challenging at times, can be difficult. And so it's a bit of a mixed bag and sometimes pulls the rug beneath our feet. It's all the Uranian terrain, but also Uranus reminds us of our own individuality, our own uniqueness, and also the part that we play as a unique individual within the mycelial network of a greater consciousness. So this week, as the nodes are in square to Uranus, and this energy will actually last not just for the week ahead, but we will be feeling that for the next 2 weeks. There could be sudden changes as well, or also internally, I'm discerning what's working for me, what isn't. Am I ready to and willing to let go of that karmic unfoldings, ancestral stuff? To look at the North Node in Pisces is showing us, guiding us towards greater compassion, connection to something higher, greater, and the imagination, the spiritual way. Also, Uranus is spirit, so we might get some great insights. Also, something that aligns in within and without, that wants to discern and let go of, as well as move us forwards. Maybe new connection while letting go of an old connection that is no longer serving us. So it's going both ways, and we, yeah, tuning into that. And there can be sudden changes. Uranus strikes us with a lightning strike. It's sudden, it's abrupt. There can be, yeah, some big changes in the mundane, within the sacred. So being aware, and also very social. I feel we might be, yeah, it feels like it's a powerful week this week. And so, yeah, I'm already a bit further away here from this week. Yeah, and we got Pluto in Aquarius in alignment. The Uranus is coming more into a trine with Pluto. So there's also, I feel there's a greater awakening that is happening as a collective. We're in the air signs. We are creating community. We are creating a whole new way of being, and we are it. We are the ones that making the change. So also really important to allow the energy of Chiron at the last degree of Aries until the end of the month, until actually not the end of the month, we are the 20th of June. That's right. On the 20th of June, Chiron is moving for the first time into Taurus, or the first time after 50 years, I shall say, into the sign of Taurus, where Chiron was discovered. And that's a big energy shift, also moving from the masculine sign of Aries, the bull, the ram, into the feminine sign, the bull, of Venus, Venusian ruled bull, Taurus, into the sensual, into the embodiment. So we are also, there is a lot of energies, lessons, healing around the body as well. We are healing our earth body, we are healing our celestial body, and yeah, we are doing it. We are it. Anyway, I think I'll leave it for now, for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in, for listening, sending lots of love your way, and I'll talk to you again. Bye for now.